How's it going, guys? So a couple weeks ago, we did a deep dive into my wrestling VHS and DVD collection. Today, we're gonna do a dive into my wrestling action figure collection. It's not a huge collection, but there are a lot of pieces that I've managed to keep with me all through childhood. There are some really cool autographed pieces and a couple of really rare pieces of memorabilia that don't technically count as action figures, but they are being featured alongside the figures, so we'll take a deep dive into those as well. So without further ado, let's just dive right into the collection and see what it looks like as of July 2024. Let's start here with the carded figures. So mostly WCW Smash and Slam series. These are the first action figures I was ever introduced to as a kid, so they hold a really special place in my heart. That is why I have collected more or less all of them, both on the card as well as loose in the display case, which we'll get to in just a minute here. But yeah, we've got the Wolfpack, NWO Black and White. We got a Slam and Crunch Sting hanging out with them. Yeah, I remember my mom taking me to a Walmart in Kennesaw, Georgia in the summer of 1999 and getting that Sting, not that exact one right there in the card, but the one that I've got in the display case loose. Still have the original one that my mom bought for me way back in the day. It was that Sting, and it was a Battle of the Giants 2-pack of the Giant as well as Kevin Nash, which I have on display as well, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But other than that, as far as the carded figures go, we got a Power Slam Sid Vicious, Old School Raw as War Steve Austin, China, rest in peace, and the classic WrestleMania 19 variant of Triple H. I loved those purple trunks. Also got two other Smash and Slam figures that are mint on the card that are not featured on the wall over there. I've got them in this special little display case all unto themselves because they are autographed. This one, of course, by DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, along with the Ready to Rumble VHS tape, as well as an autographed Lex Luger Smash and Slam, along with a No Way Out VHS autographed by Cactus Jack himself, Mick Foley. Oh, and yes, one more pretty cool, unique, one-of-a-kind, might I even say, piece that I've got up here is, this is a good-looking man right here. A very handsome, very strapping, athletic-looking fella right here. He is me. And no, I'm not so vain that I made an action figure of myself just for fun. I actually am a pro wrestler. I work on the indies here in the Southeast around the Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia area mostly. And about 7 years ago, my wife Kendall handmade this action figure for me as a birthday present. She used Wade Barrett as the model for my figure. So super cool. Wade is almost as jacked as me. Not quite, but he'll get there one day if he trains hard enough. You can see the level of detail that she put into this. You could really see the trunks well if I took it out of the case, which I'm not going to right now, but she really put a lot of effort into this. She even hand painted his skin tone to be paler than the action figure originally came as, and hand drew a fancy little widow's peak right there. So she did an excellent job depicting me as a slightly more muscular Edward from Twilight. Moving on to the loose figures here. Again, you know, I don't have a Matt Cardona style game room full of nothing but wrestling action figures. It would be pretty cool if I did, but pretty limited collection. I like to collect a lot of different things. As you can see, we've got Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Power Rangers, Star Wars, and so on. We covered the full collection in this 2024 game room tour actually, so I'll put a link to that in the description if you guys want to check that out to see the entirety of what this game room looks like. But as of now, this is the wrestling section of loose figures. Most of these I've kept from childhood. That's my very first Sting right there. And this Just Incredible, every time I see him, it stands out to me because Just Incredible was the very first real life pro wrestler I ever met at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. There was a SmackDown taping in 2001. I saw him poking his head out of one of the side exits, and he asked my friend and I if we would walk over to the concession stand with $5 that he handed us and purchase a piece of pizza for him. We did, and then he signed my Shop Zone catalog for me, and we talked about what a bummer it was that ECW had just gone out of business 3 months prior. So cool memory meeting old Just Incredible. Beyond that, you can see it's a mix of some WCW variants, some WWF variants, a few things from the mid 2000s. Really a big fan of this Triple H here in the box. My girlfriend at the time, my wife now, Kendall, bought this for me the same weekend that Triple H came out and publicly announced his retirement from professional wrestling after he had his cardiac event back in 2022. And Triple H was the biggest inspiration for me to ever want to lace up a pair of boots and perform in a professional wrestling ring. He was a huge influence on me growing up, and I really hated to see him retire, but I am glad that he was prioritizing his health as he should. He was doing what was best for himself and his family. And it's cool to have this piece here in the game room to celebrate him and the awesome career that he had over the span of 25 years plus. And then moving up here, we've got the WCW Smash and Slam ring on display, along with that Battle of the Giants 2-pack that I referenced a little bit earlier. Kevin Nash and the Giant complete with neck brace and all from that botched powerbomb. It sold out in 1998, for those of you who remember. Moving on, we have an awesome commentary desk with Jim Cornette screaming about all of the things that he dislikes about what he's seeing. An awesome WWF Championship belt from the shelves of Kmart somewhere around 2001. And one piece that I am really amazed that I've been able to keep all of this time is an actual title belt that I hand drew back in 1999 when I was 10 years old. I had all these different titles hand drawn. I had the world title, the TV title, US title. Looks like this is the only one that has survived all the moves over the years. I'm surprised even this has made it that far. So it's a cool piece to have. I don't know if it makes the most sense that these two will be contending for that title, but hey, it's my playroom and they will if I want to, damn it. Moving on, we have the GameStop Stone Cold, a beautiful framed piece of art here. And then remember that story about Just Incredible? Well, at that SmackDown taping in 2001, that was also the night that I picked this bad boy up, the Triple H foam hand. Unfortunately, it has seen better days. For a while there, I was a little bit negligent during my teenage years. I didn't store this in the best of conditions, and it hung out in an attic for a few years. I think some wild animals got to the other side of this and just kind of chewed through some of the foam, ate it up a little bit. It must have been laying on this side because this side for the most part is still good, but the other side with the 3 H's displayed is not the prettiest picture. Some of it can be cleaned up, but yeah, it's not in mint condition. Let's put it that way. That's okay though. It's mine. Don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. And now what I think is probably the rarest piece in here, I could be wrong, someone correct me if I am, but I don't really see too many of these ever, is the Triple H Newsboy cap. I remember this thing was for sale in the winter of 2000 Shop Zone catalog for 40 bucks. And I begged my mom to get one for me. She wouldn't do it. I eventually managed to snag my own on eBay several years ago, and I've only seen one other ever pop up ever since I managed to get my hands on this one. I'll be really curious to know if you guys have ever seen one of these out in the wild before, because I've never seen one in person other than this one, and I've only seen 2, maybe 3 ever for sale on eBay or Mercari or anywhere like that. You know, maybe my mom did me a favor by not buying this thing for me, because I for sure thought that I would have put this thing on and I would have been the biggest badass on the block. I tried it on as an adult when I first bought it, and as much as it pains me to say this, I don't quite look as cool wearing it as Triple H did on TV. So that's the collection as of now, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you liked the video, please like the video, subscribe, continue to hang out as we produce more of these game room tours, more history ofs, and some more Let's Play type videos coming up in the near future here. If there's anything that you would like to see in the future, let me know. It's been a ton of fun growing this little community so far. I love interacting with everybody in the comments section. So thanks a lot again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.